So I did a video on Twitter and the mass exodus from it recently, and somebody in my comments apparently got upset that I kept calling it Twitter, and they're like, it's X, bro. And bro, like, I hear you, I hear what you're saying. And I get it, because I'm all about respecting people's wishes when it comes to identity. So it may seem like I'm being a little bit of a hypocrite not identifying Twitter as X. See, Elon, who owns Twitter, really hates trans people. He's made absolutely no secret about that. In fact, the trans woman who was formerly his daughter has completely disowned him, changed her name and everything because she no longer wants any relation to Elon Musk whatsoever because of how anti-trans he is, and just because he's an asshole in general. And you see, I say formerly his daughter because she doesn't want to be identified as a Musk anymore, and I respect that. Just like I respect her gender identity. But it's not just how he was a dick to his daughter. Elon now wants to move Tesla and SpaceX headquarters specifically because of trans rights laws. And that is that he wants to move them from California, where they acknowledge that trans people are, well, people, to Texas, where they don't acknowledge anybody as people unless they're straight white Christians. And on top of that, Elon has personally used Twitter to spread all kinds of anti-trans rhetoric and propaganda. So it's become very clear to me that Elon's belief on identity is that something can't change from the way that it was born. Which is strange to me, because if you look at Elon's hairline, clearly he's made some changes that involved gender-affirming care. But that's here nor there. It's clear to me that Elon doesn't believe that people should be able to choose identities that they feel are a better fit. And since Twitter was conceived as a social media site called Twitter, it's just not right for me to disrespect Elon's wishes and call it anything other than the name it was born with. And while I know that this is really what Elon thinks that he wants Twitter to identify as right now, I'm almost entirely certain that this is just a phase that he's going through. And if we allow him to affirm that identity, he may regret it later in life. Like, I just don't think he's mature enough to make those kinds of decisions right now. I mean, the motherfucker did name a kid after a math equation. Clearly not the type of person mentally or emotionally mature enough to be making long-term identity decisions for anything. But while I respect almost everybody's decision to have identities be what they want, and when I say everybody, I mean everybody but Elon, I just feel that it's irresponsible to allow somebody who is clearly so severely mentally ill and unstable to make such permanent identity decisions. So even though Twitter's gone through some very significant changes, and it's clearly not the social media site that it says it is on its birth certificate, and has fully transitioned into a full-blown Putin propaganda machine, I still just can't agree with calling it X. That said, I'm a big fan of nicknames, so maybe we can find a fun nickname to call Twitter as like a common ground while it sorts out this identity crisis it's going through. And since it's now just an alt-right cesspool, I was thinking maybe OnlyClans, or Plenty of Fascists, or Mindspace, or Linked Incels, 4clan, CrySpace, Snapped Chat, Fashbook, Instagram, Never Reddit. Sorry, that'd be a more appropriate name for a Bible app for Twitter users. Or really anything that has more than 280 characters, so I guess it checks out. Anyway, if anybody else has nickname ideas to help Elon and Twitter make it through this identity crisis, I'm sure it would be greatly appreciated. Because even though we refuse to call it X, doesn't mean we can't call it stupid in lots of new and creative ways.